Bonjour, messieurs et mesdames and messieurs. Je m'appelle Scrizzilla, and today we are looking at the Lorraine CA, or the CA Lorraine, or the Combat de l'Assault Lorraine. Cannon de l'Assault? Let me just double check. Yeah, Cannon de l'Assault Lorraine, which is the self-propelled gun that was proposed by the French tank manufacturers late 1940. It was a development on the Lorraine chassis, the Lorraine 40T, and it was going to be an SPG based very similarly to the Jagdpanzer 4 or 5. Jagdpanzer 5, I think. It was called the Cannon de l'Assault, so it should technically be the CD. It only weighed 25 tons, good top speed of 60 kilometers per hour. It used the pneumatic air-core tyres, which I've said before, for its road wheels. They were mounted on torsion bar with hydraulic shock absorbers, just to keep the weight down and also to allow better stability for off-road manoeuvring. It had the 100mm SA-47 gun, and that's about it really, because there's not much more on this tank, because it was very much a prototype. The prototype was scrapped in about 1950, so there really isn't much on this vehicle around on the interwebs. I can't really find much information about it, unfortunately. It's very much let's make a Jagdpanzer. Nah, that didn't really work. Well, should we just keep with the turreted tanks? Yeah, it's probably an idea. Alright, Fred, carry on. Cheers, Misso. And that was the end of the story. So I've already made a video about this tank in game, and aired my grievances with it, and I still have a lot of those grievances. Not a huge fan of this tank, I must say. On paper it looks like it should be bloody amazing, but when it comes to gameplay, not so much. Now the shell can be good. Puma there just got hull broke. It's the end of his day. And oh, look, a Tiger E. The thing that really kills this vehicle is, well, its reload rate. If they made this a auto-loader, maybe it would make up for it a little bit. I really don't know what to do to fix this tank, other than, say, lower the BR a bit, because it's very... Look, if you're in the right position, if you get in the right position like I am now, and you get the perfect match, and everything goes right, this thing is amazing. You feel like a god. But at the same time, you feel terrified, because you know that any moment, a shell is going to whiz past you and kill you. Because this thing cannot really take a hit. You might bounce one shot, if you're lucky, but that's it. The vehicle is very low profile. I'll switch out the binocular because that's what I'm doing here. It's very low profile, very small, very hard to see, much like the Jagdpanzer. Look, it's fast. That's the big advantage, is you can get to a good spot relatively easily. So, you know, you can get to those sniping spots with ease and outflank the enemy with it. That's where it comes in really good. The gun, decent gun. The 100mm gun is pretty good, but the trouble lays in the fact that the crew are all rather compact, very compact tank. The ammo's on the side here, so as you see, if you take a full load of ammunition, get shot from the side, you're dead. Get shot in the front, generally people will shoot this sort of section here. If it's an explosive round, you're dead. If you get shot in the cannon breech, the cannon's blown up, and you're dead. It really doesn't last very well, this vehicle, and also the top plate armour is pretty atrocious. This section here is going to be penetrated by 707 rounds. Rifle caliber machine gun rounds will penetrate your engine deck and cause fires. This tank has got, I think it's 50mm of armour. When sloped, you've got about 80mm of effective. But it doesn't stop anything. It won't stop a single thing. And it's a real shame, because this vehicle could be something quite cool. it's sort of, yeah, you sort of go, well, what can we really do to fix it? Well, there's not much that can be done, I guess. It's just very meh. It's the best way to describe it, really. It's just a meh vehicle. It's purely a, well, it's not fictional entirely, because there were some working prototypes of this vehicle, but there wasn't really anything major. It was just a real mock-up tank, you know, and it just, as I said, it's kind of a really, really crap vehicle, and I've not really had much fun with it. I've not really had any good games with it, and it's a real shame. You don't have a coaxial either, so, you know, you're kind of buggered with it. Interestingly enough, the actual prototype of this vehicle didn't have this cupola here, so this is a added feature. I guess somewhere in a technical document they had that in some blueprint somewhere along the line, but I don't know where Gaijin have pulled this tank out of, so I don't really know where it comes from. As I said, there's so many different things to say what it could do. It's just, yeah, it's just hard to really work with it. You know, I've had some sites saying, you know, it was going to use heat fin stabilized, you know. Okay, give it heat FS. That would be good. But then that could just be a joke site. You know, there's no real solid information on this thing. There's just nothing in there that gives you enough detail. I'd much rather have had the armoured car variant tank destroyers that the French were so keen on using. You know, there's some really cool self-propelled guns out there, but yeah, it's just a really, really crap tank destroyer. I mean, I think you'll probably find that the Hetzer has better frontal armour than this thing. I'm pretty sure the Hetzer does have better frontal armour than this thing. And it's just like, well, what do we, you know, other than the gun, it's just really bad. And it's not like the ASU 85. Sorry, I'm going to go very high pitch there. Now I see that truck in the distance, and I see the warbly wind as well, and try and get over to take a shot. There's really bad depression on this gun as well, and I think, is that a flak truck? Forget that I'm actually with the Russians, so I waste a shot there. But what I'm trying to do is I'll just open up the map here, and just get over to this section where there's a house, and that's a normal sniping spot if you start on that side of the map. So I'm getting there, I'm trying to get there as fast as possible, and that is something good to say about this vehicle. This thing is fast in forward and reverse. You've got some good movement speed. But the biggest issue is you are so wobbly. You know, you can't fire on... You could probably fire on the move kind of okay, but you can't stop and fire. If I could stop and fire, I probably could have gotten the 2 SPAAs without too much problem here. But you just can't stop and fire because you get so much depression on this gun when you stop. So all in all, it's a bit of a... Well, it's a failure, really. So there's the Ag Panther there. So I'm being a bit of a bastard here and just getting to their spawn. I'm waiting for them to leave the spawn at least. I'm not being too evil at the moment. But you just got to flank. You got to use it like a light tank. The Ag Panther, we go straight through, go into his armour. Now, where we penetrated, we sort of penetrated in the crew compartment, but did no damage to the crew. And that's the other thing about this shell, is it's really hit or miss. You're going to have so many times when the shell just does amazing stuff. And, you know, you think, oh my god, this tank is amazing. This shell is amazing. Oh, lord, this thing is brilliant. I can kill anything. And then other times, it will bounce off the front plate of a Tiger H1 when it's flat to you. And you'll just be like, how on earth does that work? You've got 200 odd millimeters of penetration. It shouldn't be bouncing. And that's one of the big problems of this tank. It really is iffy on its shots. The shell fragmentation just isn't there, and for a 100mm gun, it just doesn't feel like it's causing that much damage. You know, even like the Carnarvon, you know, you shoot something with the Carnarvon and you know it's going to die. You know, you're pretty certain you're going to kill everybody in that tank. It's not really an issue. With this tank, you shoot somebody and it just, meh, just does nothing really. Just wobbles around inside and might give somebody a slight bruise. So there's a Panther and a Tiger here. So I go for the rear in the line. Bonjour. Take him out with one shot. So, you know, good fragmentation there. That was really good. So, good fragmentation. Now, I'm going to try and hide. Now, our good friend the kill cam has absolutely ruined my little ploy here, by the way, but we'll talk about that in a second. So, this Panther, centre of mass, shoot him, penetrate him, and as you see, the shot, centre of mass shot doesn't kill him. So the guy I just killed in the Tiger has just respawned, and well, I'll let you guess what happens here, because you kind of know what's going to happen. Is the kill cam has given away my position, and there is a Nashorn waiting for me. Oh, hi Nashorn. And of course, because of the wobble, I can't get my gun online before he can shoot me. I really wish I would remove kill cam from the realistic battle, and that I've said it for years, and they're not going to do it. They don't listen to us, and that's a real shame, because it really does kill the gameplay. But luckily, I have an AD4. And time to put that kill cam and all of that, you know, horrible revenge killing action into place. So let's have some fun in this thing. And oh boy, this thing is ridiculous. You have got £4,000 worth of bombs, a 2,000 and two 1,000s. The rockets have 400mm of penetration. Yeah, they're very good rockets. They're very good rockets to kill tanks with. Yes, they are. So, is the Lorraine worth playing? No. The Lorraine's not worth it. In all honesty, you might have some good games in it, but you're not going to have many. And the... You know, unless you're a really experienced player, you're not going to have a great time in it. The reload's not bad, but as I said, it's just not great. So, just shooting this Nashorn here, just to make sure he knows he's going to die. We dropped £4,000 of ordnance on him. Let's just go to the free camera here, and let's see where those bombs land. Bye-bye. He knows he's dead. And that's the end of a Nashorn. So, there was also a waffle trader there as well. Now, well, time to spin around. Now I've got 24 rockets, and I missed that SPG there actually, I missed that, I think it's a Stug. But I think, oh well, I'm going to test out these rockets on the back of a waffle trader. So I unleash a massive salvo and blow him to Kingdom Come. So, yeah, I didn't need to launch that many rockets, but what can I say, I was feeling generous. The other AD4 there is going to take out the Panther without any problem. We've both got eye for an eye rewards and stuff like that. Both revenge kills there. Oh, it's such a scummy thing to do, but you got to do it. So yeah, this game was a win, and you know it wasn't a bad game all in all. See, 2,000 points, got decent haul of lions and stuff like that. And yeah, it wasn't bad, but as I said, it just the only reason to unlock the Lorraine is to unlock the Foch, and that's it. It's the only point in that vehicle. I'm gonna head on this BF 109 here, give him a nice crit, spin around. Game's almost over. Try and take him out, and we just fly into each other. Don't actually touch each other, but you know, wonky physics and all. We get our wing cut off. But what the heck? It was a good game. So let's just quickly have a look at the Lorraine in the hangar view. So I've done this on a previous project. I was talking about the pneumatic wheels and stuff like that. See, 6 kills there, 1 assist. So good game, blah blah blah. So the Lorraine CA, you know, it just 50mm of armor sloped, which is 80 effective millimeters. You don't have the depression to actually give this thing, to ridgeline it to give you about 90mm of depression. You can only get about 80. This whole section is penetrated by every single shot, so that's just going to be penned, and it will take out your cannon every time. Lower plate is really bad on it as well. Side plates are non-existent, rear plate non-existent, and the top, as I said, this section will protect you from 50 cals. This will not though, and as you can see here, this is where the bullets are going to go through, and that's your engine compartment, and that's going to cause a fire. So it's pretty hopeless all in all. Yeah, the Lorraine is probably the most useless tank I've had yet in the French tech tree, and that's saying a lot considering we have the AMR 35 ZT3, which has a 25mm gun. This thing feels more effective than the Lorraine. Yeah, it's not good. I've actually not played with the South 40 yet, so kind of got to take that out for a bit of a test run at some stage, but I'll do that later. I'll do that another day. But yeah, this thing is really... Look, as I said, unlock it for the Foch, because the Foch, that thing looks like it's going to be an absolute monster. Of course, no doubt when I get it, it will probably be terrible, but you know, you can't really go wrong with this thing. It has a ridiculous amount of armor for 7.3. The gun is very good. The side armor is still the same problem, and the top still has a similar issue. It's not quite as bad as the Lorraine, but you know, you're still going to be weaker from the top and the sides, but it has better armor all around, and this thing is going to be an absolute monster for taking on tanks head on and using it as a tank destroyer. It will be very, very handy in that respect. So yeah, look, I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry I'm a bit down on it really, but what can I say, the Lorraine is a really big disappointment. I was hoping for more. Maybe they could up the velocity of the gun or something. I don't know, find some text document somewhere along the line that said it was using more powerful guns. Maybe give it a slightly longer barrel or something. Give it some difference over the Lorraine 40T. As I said, it's got the same gun, so I can't imagine it would probably use the auto-loading system that the 40T uses. But instead it doesn't. So maybe if it was able to fire those shots much quicker, it would be more use, but at the moment it really just as I said, you're better off working with these vehicles. Just leave this on the sidelines, unlock this, and then use that. This one's going to be one of those tanks that you unlock and you hardly ever use, I think. Okay guys, let me know in the comments below if you got the Lorraine, if you've got the Lorraine CA. Let me know what you think of it, and let me know if you think I'm wrong. As I said, it can be used as a good light tank to outflank people, but I think it's very hampered in its abilities. Alright guys, until next time, this is Screezer out. Bye bye.